gonna turn this music off because I'm jamming. Gotta tell you, I can't find the chat box. That cannot be a good thing. Ish, hi! Hi! Okay, good. Okay, good. Now I can see. I can't see me, but I guess I don't need to see me. So I gotta figure out how to stop this timer though. So hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. First timer. This won't be happening next time, I assure you. Cause okay, hold on. Ivory! Hey boo. Alright, okay, hold on. And they said I'm not supposed to sweat, but that ain't about to happen. How do I stop this? Ha! I'm here. I want to view the comment. Hey! Got it. All right, ladies. Hi, Destis and bride friends. I'm so excited. Thank you for joining. It's the first Desti hour, of course, and I am always late, so I do apologize, but I'm not. There's no but to that. I do apologize. I am gonna be that bride friend. I'm trying to be better, but I'm that bride friend who's late. You know, like we decide we're gonna go to happy hour, and then somebody, you sitting there waiting and you had a glass of wine. Yeah, that's me. I'm texting you going, sorry, I'm on my way. That's me. So I'm going to do better, going to be better, but that's what you're working with right now. But I mean well. So I hope you guys have your little glasses. I've got my situation going on. So please let me know in the comments where you're getting married and when. That's important. Of course, you guys know I always want to know that, and that'll help. I do have a list for you of 10 tips, and I also received a few Q&As from the bride friends that can't make it, so we have that afterwards. So I'm going to go through that and then go through this question, have a couple more, and then depending on what you guys have and what you're working on, we'll see how this goes. So if you ever can't hear me or see me, let me know. Hi, Bliss. Okay, is it Ish or Esh? Let me know. Number 1 for Ish, number 2 for Esh. Work with me. Oh, man. Okay, so I'm super excited. You guys like my shirt? Destination weddings are selfish? Because they are, but so what? No one cares. Okay, so I'm gonna open this up because I'm clearly entirely too excited. Hi, Inez. You guys, so on right now, Ivory, you have to know Ivory at this point right now. Ivory was my makeup and hair. She's been on the show twice, and she's here. She's in the group. If you ever have questions about makeup or anything, she's there for you. And then I actually met Inez at Blog Her, a conference. Ooh, when was that? Right after the wedding, 2017. And she's getting married in Florida, so this is awesome. St. Augustine, I believe. Playa Mujeres. All right. Bali. Oh, love the shirt. Thanks, boo. It is okay to be selfish. Can we say that? I think at this point, and love, if you're watching this, don't freak out. But I'm about to open this at the, you guys, I'm not allowed to open up anything. I would normally be by the sink, but I'm excited right now. So hopefully this doesn't do what I'm kind of scared of. Okay, wait, actually, hold on, because I'm scared. Okay, I'm back. It's got to happen on the things, but at least I'm trying. I make messes. I'm messy too. Anybody else messy? Who's the messy one? You or your boo? It's always one. Popping bottles. I did it! Yay! First Desti hour, you guys. I'm so excited. Thank you for joining. I'm gonna pour this. Read the comments. Get with you guys. Are you guys drinking anything too? You see what's happening? Okay, I'm gonna slow that one down. Do you guys drink? Do you guys not drink? What's the deal? I'm a bubbly person. Tequila's my jam. If you're getting married in Mexico, you gotta have tequila for your guests. I'm just telling you, it's against the law if you don't. And yeah, so give me that shirt. You can have it. I'm actually doing a giveaway at the end, so we're going to talk about that. The store is coming back, and there's a giveaway. Every single time we do a live, there will be a giveaway. So, yes. Cheers. Y'all are so cute. Here, Bali. Okay. So, I need a sip now. All right. So, you guys, I appreciate you. I love that you are here. If anyone does not know me, my name is Omi Allen, and I'm the creator of the Desti Guide to Destination Weddings. It was Bride Friends before. We are all bride friends. And I really created it out of my own need while planning my destination wedding, which was May 27th, 2017. Got married in Riviera Maya, Mexico. We stayed at the Secrets Maroma Beach, and we actually had an off-resort wedding. So we we transported our guests from the resort to a private beach club called Blue Venado. Little bit of that background. I also started a blog initially called Black Destination Bride, Black Desti. And that was really because I didn't see a wide range of diversity in general, but especially women of color being celebrated, and seeing someone who looks like you in a destination wedding magazine or on a blog just was really, really hard. So I decided to journal. So I did a 200-day journal every day. I was about to say for the most part, but yeah, there's 200 days of me expressing exactly what I was doing, what I was grateful for, what I wish I would have done better, what I'm doing the next day, what I love. I have black love moments, and I memorialized the whole thing. So you guys are still finding it. Let me know if you guys have seen that or if you were aware of that. Please drop a note in the comments and let me know if you even knew that I had that blog or if you've read it at all. I'm curious. Ivory, my boo, is hella messy, but you're clumsy. Yes, you are. And that's awesome. Okay. So I created that, and then the podcast is what it is now, which is just a whole lot of people, our bride friends, and I invite guests on the show, and we talk about what it took to really plan the destination weddings. So we always dig super deep. How did you find this? What did you go through? How much did you pay? How much did that cost? So that's what we do all the time. It's been quite a roller coaster. I'm so excited to actually be back. I've been in and out, back and forward. If you're aware of, you've seen it. Okay, if you're aware of the blog, you may have a good feel or understand. Like, I actually have lupus, and I was having like flare-ups and kind of fighting it and going through all of that. It's a stress situation. So that was a big part of it for me. And then just life in general. While planning my wedding, my mom was not there. I fell out with my mom. I fell out with my sister. I fell out with my best friend. At that point, but all in all, it was an absolutely positively amazing experience, and I'm all about making sure that you guys can do the same thing. You see someone who is willing to help you just by sharing our experiences. So that's what this is about, and I'm 100% about letting you know that you can do this. People will push back. I'm sure all of you have had those issues, and I'm the person to tell you, fuck that, quite frankly. It doesn't matter. I created this shirt specifically because my wonderful, wonderful father constantly told us destination weddings are selfish. And yes, they are. But you know what else? So are birthday parties and baby showers, and anything celebrating someone else is a selfish thing. And so what? The whole point is you're celebrating someone else. You're being celebrated. So understand that, do that, know that. I'm always 100% about helping you guys. I'm so excited that you're here too, and to reconnect. Like, it's awesome. I'm so happy, you guys. So, how can the funny thing, so you guys, I'm totally clean faced right now because I got my lashes done. And one rule, just so you know, I'll call this a Desti tip, fuck it. Do not get your lashes wet for 24 hours. So you're not supposed to sweat, which I'm already breaking that rule. And you are not supposed to do anything. Not supposed to shower, not supposed to work out, which clearly creates sweat, all of that. So anyway, that's my little disclaimer in that space. I actually did get a question about the lashes, so we will talk about that. But I'm just 100% in support, and all of the coaching that I do with you guys, there are certain things that I've known that it's like a common thread with everybody. And I kind of created a little thing where it's like 10 things that like every Desti bride kind of does wrong. And that's what we're going to talk about. It sounds a little harder than it is, but it's what you do wrong and what you should do instead. So, number 1. Sip. Okay. Actually, before I start, let me just make sure. Okay. Number 1. Of course, I would start this way. So, not choosing. So I kind of did this in a commandments way because I'm silly. So it says, thou shalt choose the best badass team of bride friends to support you. And I mean that. So by that, I mean, you need to understand that the people that you put into your wedding and you really depend on, you're gonna need them. And oftentimes there's a lot of friction and you feel you're not confident and you're struggling because you're around and you're surrounding yourself with people who aren't getting it and aren't feeling it and aren't there with you. And I had that problem. I did that, and because I did that, I had a few issues and I had some problems. So that's where the fallouts come in. When if you just surrounded yourself, like by the end, it kind of was a process of elimination. And in all honesty, you guys, I appreciate the shit out of my bride friends. And a part of it, I may as well just say it now. I've been gone because my husband, Che, he had a stroke. He had it's called a TIA. It was a mild stroke in December, and it shook me. It shook the home. You know what I mean? And it was clearly sudden. He's young. It came out of absolutely nowhere. It was right before our Christmas party, and it was right after I had released the episode with Joyce. So, of course, everything had to stop. And with that, you go through these things, crazy trauma. It's like crisis time. And the people that I called at one point were on the side of the hospital. He's fine. Like he's great right now, and he immediately like recovered. But we're at the hospital. They're doing all the tests, and I looked around and I realized that the women who were there that I called were the ones that were there for me at my wedding. Like the ones. It was not my mom. It was not my sister. It was not family, quite frankly. And it was my chosen family. And they were there. And it just happened to be like I was sitting on the side and I looked. And it was like, yo, these are the real bride friends. Like these are people who are there for you when you're celebrating. And they were there the whole time. But then, 3 years later, coming down, they were there at that point too. So just kind of understand that the people that you're choosing to be there with you, you need to really, really know that you can depend on them and know who's who. Like, you've got your friends that you can call, when, you know who to call for what, and just understand that you need a good team. So part of that is me. Of course, I'm in support of you guys. I created this group so that you guys can kind of hang out and be together and just kind of hold each other down. So I'm sharing that. Haven't shared it at all. So I appreciate you guys for letting me have that moment. Promise. I kept that together. I did good. I did good. But yes, I did that. So number 1 is just understand and really, really pay attention and take the bride friends, take the people that you surround yourself seriously. Number 2 is Thou shalt not expect anyone to be as happy about your wedding as you are. Same situation, but in all seriousness, like, a lot of times you're expecting for, I get so many calls and emails and messages like, so-and-so's not happy, or I wish, why can't they be so happy for me? Why aren't they taking this seriously, and all this kind of stuff. And the reality is, this is your thing. People have lives. People, and a destination wedding can just really be a really, really big ask for people. And depending on what they have going on in their lives, they're not going to stop everything. And neither would you. You got to just understand that and know that no one is going to be as happy as you are, and that's okay. You do need people to be happy for you. You don't want to be around the haters and the naysayers and the assholes, but you get the dream squashers. This shirt came from that. Again, I talked about it in my very first live Q&A, but my dad was not in support. But he had a ball. Like, he had the best time ever. And the same thing goes for really, I feel like I don't think anybody else really had an issue with it. But yes. And that being said, you need to make sure that you're taking care of your guests. So you're super like, yay, I'm having a destination wedding. And then everybody else is it can kind of create fear. Like, hold on, what's happening? This is unknown. I don't know nothing about this. What's going on? And you just need to understand that the more you take care of your guests, the better everything will go. So that's that. Number 2. Okay, this is a big one. Thou shalt treat your wedding with utmost professionalism, like a business. Okay, so clearly I'm starting a business. So let's just call this your side hustle. Okay. I have heard and seen, I get questions like, okay, I'm not hearing back from photographers. I'm not hearing back from planners. What's the deal with that? And then I ask, what did you do? What did you say? And it's just like hey, I want to have a destination wedding, send your pricing. And you just got to understand, like, pull that all the way back. That is not the way to come to anyone. If you were applying for a job and you're on Monster and somebody reaches out and goes, hey, love your resume, what's the lowest rate that you can do? You're going to be like, no, because this person's not going to value me. They're already going to be trying to nickel and dime me. I don't have this to do. It's just very, very, really? Sorry, y'all. Sparky's choking. I'm not sure if you could hear that, but my dog, Sparky, is choking. He gets greedy and he's eating too much. You all right? Really? Come here. I'm sorry. Okay, really quick, you guys. Come here. Come on. Okay, really quick. This is my baby Spartacus. He doesn't say hi the right way. Today's his birthday. He's 8. He's a miniature schnauzer. And he clearly wants to say hi and wants attention. So that's not happening. But, okay, now get down. Okay, or don't. Whatever. All right, professionalism though. But seriously, you guys, that, like, just as much as you're interviewing and you want to make sure that they're good for you, you need to understand that it goes both ways. You need to be a good fit for them too, and understand that it's about the value. You're not just, price is so important. I promise you it's important, but reaching out immediately going, hey, please send your pricing is not the answer. Is just not. You would hate for anybody to ever do that to you, and I don't think that you should do that to them either. If you have more questions about that, I've been telling myself I'm going to do a video about ways of actually reaching out, because it's a give and take. It's like super important, and you guys are going to build a relationship, so you need to meet these people, figure out how they work, what you like about them, and then let them tell you about the pricing. And then you're able to place a value on that. And a lot of times you're hurting yourself because you're not allowing them to show you who they are. And then you go with the lowest. And I'm always reading either brides come to me and they're telling me, oh my God, I hate that I chose this person. The Facebook groups, you guys all see it, where they're like, oh, I chose these photographers, it was terrible. That's because you probably just nickeled and dimed. Like, I promise if I ask, which I always do. Sorry, y'all, Sparky. Good night. Sorry, I had to put him away. But I promise you guys, if you like, if I were to ask them, which I asked the ones that reach out to me, what did you say? What made you choose them? It's always a money situation. It just really is. So be professional. And then also there's an episode with Jen Glantz, always a bridesmaid for hire. She is like episode maybe 4, and she talks about also making sure that you are communicating what you really need from your bridal party and from your friends. You're not being a bitch about it. You're just fully making sure that you're creating the correct team and everybody's on the same page. No assumptions. Don't think someone should be looking up or should be making sure this is your business. This is your thing. This is your wedding, and take it seriously and just make sure that you're communicating what you need to communicate as well. So that's that. Thank you. Look at my, okay, great. Thanks, love. Bliss. Best advice I ever got. Invite people who you see in your future, not only in your past. So seriously, like for real, Bliss, and you guys, it's no joke. It's real. And as my dad is not really excited either, but he will likely have the most fun. Like seriously, my dad was hands down most excited. All he does is talk about it, and he apologized profusely. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. This was amazing. He just didn't know what he was getting himself into. So ignore. He's fresh. Thank you. So important. Good tip. Okay. So additional to the professionalism, planning, right? So that budget, you guys need to talk about that. You need a spreadsheet. Please let me know in the comments. Tell me that you have a spreadsheet that has your budget. Tell me. If you don't, I have one. And I'm like, let me know. But please comment and let me know if you do or if you don't. Don't be ashamed if you don't. But we're going to fix that. So put that in. Let me know. And how much, I've received the question, how much can you save? Or how much does a destination wedding cost? That's always the question. How much does a destination wedding cost? And it costs what it costs. It costs what you can do. Like that's 100%. You can do one for 1,000. You can do one for 100,000. Whatever, and anything in between. Whatever you figure out what you can do in your time, and then you budget that. So if you want to get married 12 months from now, well, you're a little behind, but. Just for the sake, if you want to get married, then you go, okay, this is what we can save between this time. And then we're going to multiply that by 12. And that's what we can do. And that's what your budget is. Like that just is how it works. Now, how much, what are the wedding packages? And it just varies. So if you don't have, whatever your amount is will depend on how many guests you get. Or it will depend on how much your gown is. Or it will depend on all these things. But anybody can have a destination wedding. Like, I just need that to be understood. Now, who's coming to it? That's a whole other thing, too. But you can still have yours, do what you're doing. Bliss is getting married in Bali, and minimal, she's doing this small like we're doing, too. Like, you guys decide to do it and move on and keep it going. But the amount, like, it's a thing. Let me know if that's clear, if that's understood. I feel like, and if you ever have questions as I'm going along, please let me know. And yeah, plan it, execute. There are miscellaneous expenses, so we will talk about that. We're going to go through budget on not next Thursday, but the following one. I'm digging deep. I'm going through my specific budget and then also everything. I've got this whole thing with that, so we'll talk about that more. And another part of building your team, I feel like, is testing out these businesses. So I also get questions, and you hear about people like horror stories of, oh, I reached out and they didn't, or like, oh, I sent my money and I haven't heard back from these people, but you've never met them. So just with Etsy shops specifically, test these shops. Send out a message. If you don't hear back from them in 48 hours, then you can kind of start giving them a little side eye. I wouldn't say walk away yet because it's busy, but it's a little side eye. If you don't hear from a week, moving on, no, because they're not taking it seriously. They're too busy or whatever. Just move on to something different. Don't try to force it, because then once they get to you, they take your money, and then it's likely that you're going to be asked out. So just professionalism. Try to just really treat this and understand that you're hiring, right? And how do you want your staff to feel? How do you want to feel? Like, how do you want them to treat you at the same way? This is straight up business, and you're just gonna have a full-on staff. So that's that. And oh, okay. So I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I say I'm sorry a lot. I'm working on the apology, like stop apologizing. Is that anyone else thing? I always read about it, and they say women do it a lot, and I'm sorrier and a disclaimer. So if you guys do that, let me know too. But lay everything out on a website. Specifically, Bliss, let me know. I know that you sent me a message asking me if it made sense to do a wedding website with your size. Did you end up deciding on that? I'm curious, so let me know about that. But your website is a well-oiled machine. Like, if you set it up perfectly, it's done. Anybody has a question, it's there for you. Patrice, I'm not sure if you're on here, but it was so funny because, and I've talked about it before, but one of my bride friends, Patrice, she was so funny because people would ask her questions like, oh, when is this? Or where is that? Or what do I wear? And she always would go, you must not have read the website. Check the website. Check the website. Like, no, check the website. Yes, that's the answer. You create this thing for everyone. You're taking care of everyone, and they all know where they can go. So that is my thing on that. And that is number 3. How am I doing on time? Okay, so 4, thou shalt know who people are. Now I've gone on this, and this is a little bit different, but just do your homework. I touched on it a bit before, and friends, family, you may be surprised, but not really. So prepare yourself. I talked about making sure that you meet your professionals as well. So you need to meet your planner. You need to meet your photographer. You need to meet these big ones that really, your photographer, your planner, travel agent would be great. I never met we didn't meet the florist, but our planner knew. Like, and if you're getting married at a resort, then the planner thing gets a little sketchy, right? Because you're not going to necessarily see them in person. Some resorts are actually starting to do that, but really, really try to meet these people and see them. There's the episode with Sherry Ann, which was episode 2. Sherry Ann episode 2? I think so. But she talks about the videographer situation, and she sent a deposit to the videographer. She loved his photos, and then as she was doing more research, it seemed a little funny, and guess what? Wasn't those people. She ended up, it was this whole crazy thing, and she did work her way through it, but research 100%. Know who these people are. With Joyce specifically, Joyce was magic. It was awesome. But me and Che sat right here on this couch, and we did Skype calls with her in the evenings, and it was absolutely amazing, and she was absolutely amazing. And we interview, that's part of professionalism, that one too, but just interview and really vet this and work it. It's a lot of work, but it's so worth it, you guys, I promise. And if you do the work in advance, it gets so much better later, because once you arrive, you don't have to think about this at all. Make sure you meet professionals. Demand a Skype call. Seriously, Skype all day. It's free. Skype. So yes, make sure. Stephanie, I got you. Please email me a spreadsheet. I'm actually gonna create a little thingy, so I will create a link of one. And yeah, if anybody else wants that, let me know. I'll add a post later and you guys can reply to that. Yes. Spreadsheet. Yep, I definitely will. I will absolutely do that. And this is a big one. I probably should just, like, I could even in here. But thou shalt enjoy your engagement period. Engagement period? That sounds funny. But your engagement. So I get the question. The number one question is, hey, they find me, you got engaged, and this is like engagement season just ended, and it's like, ooh, what do I do first? I'm freshly engaged and I want a destination wedding. What do I do first? And I always say, pump your brakes. Now, for a lot of you guys, you're already kind of down the road, but I did a blog post it's about the idea of destination wedding planning abstinence, and it's not sexually related. That's not a thing for me. I don't subscribe to that, but it's waiting. We got engaged, and I promised as soon as we came from being engaged, he proposed in Dominican Republic and got to the airport on the way back, freshly engaged, like 2 days, went to the passport guy, told him I was engaged. He was super nice, and he was like, oh, so when's the wedding? And it's like, oh my God, like, just take a moment, breathe, and really think about how you want to feel, and just enjoy this, because you don't get to be engaged. You don't get to be engaged again. It just doesn't happen. So take this time and really enjoy it. I also, I journaled. I don't necessarily recommend you starting a online journal and committing to doing it for 200 days, because that was hella crazy. If you want to do that, hey, I'll give you some pointers on that one, but it's crazy. But just on your own, like, get a little journal and talk about it. Talk to yourself about it. How do you feel? Memorialize it. Celebrate the small things, your milestones. Yay, we booked this person, pop a bottle. Yay, we did this, pop a bottle. All of it, like, just celebrate it. And another thing, a lot of you guys, I'm not sure, and let me know how you guys are feeling about your partners. Are you together or in planning, or is it just you? And I hear very, very often, like, oh, it seems like the fellas aren't into it. And I got to tell you, I personally didn't have that problem. And I think my biggest recommendation is for you to bring them in on it. Like, it may not be as natural for them. So if you need help, share that you need help. If you want to know what they think about this, or you want to take time and sit down, get some dinner and pull out something, or go and have a brunch and talk about some things, sit together and watch videos and listen to the podcast. Y'all can just this is a really good time for you guys to develop a good foundation of teamwork. I love that we were able to do that. And your little feelings that get hurt in one space because you don't agree about this or you want that, but it's like all a part of marriage and life and partnership anyway. So use this time planning to really work together with it. If you let him know or her know that you need help, then they're your partner. They're gonna do what they need to do to help with that. So that, just enjoy it. Enjoy it. And you're not alone. Like, bring them in on it. Che did music. He loves music. So he handled that. That means he was able to choose the DJ. I had to be hands off on it. We looked at it together, but that was his thing. He chose the DJ. He went through the playlist. He created them. He communicated with them. We did Skype calls with them as well. He had a hand in really everything. But the invitations, whatever it was, I put together my invitations, you guys. I thought it was so cute and it was so great. And I showed it to him, like the little draft of it, like, what do you think? And he just went through and like, It was red, really basically like super edited, red ink all over it. Let's do this instead. Let's do this. And my little feelings were so hurt because I was feeling so good. But it was a good way for us to work together and to figure out kind of like how we function. I'm sensitive and he needs to kind of be a part of that and understand. And it's a good way for you guys to work together because this is the biggest production that you guys will have. So work together with that. And Ivory says, Skype me or I'm thinking you're a catfish. Exactly. That is the point. If they won't Skype you, then you're possibly being catfish. So yes, that's important. You're not getting my money if I can't see your face. You don't just be going around giving people money. So yes, but yeah, it's your teamwork muscle. You guys are going to build that, work with it. And the same thing goes for them. If you want them to be a part of this, then you need to check yourself also and handle them with the same amount of respect and sensitivity that you want. We went looking for tuxes and, you know, he's telling me I like this. What do you think of this? And I'm like, nope, that's ugly. That's ugly. Nope, hate it, hate it, hate it. And he was like, hey, I have feelings. Like, wait a minute. And I had to really check myself, because if he was telling me that's ugly, that's ugly, that's ugly, then my little feelings would be hurt too. So it's just a good way for you guys to communicate together and work together. So just think of it that way. If you're struggling and you feel like you're alone, try to just rethink this. Take a moment, breathe, and go, okay, what can I give him? And not just separate. You do this, I'll do that. Work together, because y'all are going to need to do this for everything. You guys decide to buy a house. You guys decide to have kids. You guys decide to not have kids. Whatever you guys are doing, you're always going to have to work together and be a team. So do that. And thou shalt break the mold. Understand that you are different, okay? You are doing something different, and it's going to make other people uncomfortable because it's different. But wear what the fuck you want to wear. Do what you want to do. Get married where you want to get married. Understand that this is your thing and do it. Like, seriously, I know that you like it's going to be misunderstood by some, but know that that's just how everything goes. Like, whenever something new is going on, everybody doesn't get it, and they're like, what? Like, what's this internet thing? Or what? Uber, what is that? Now everybody all day. And it's the same situation. Destination weddings specifically, we are very lucky. You guys are very lucky because they're becoming way more popular. But just know that I get a lot of questions like, can I do this? Should I wear this? Should I not? I specifically am sitting here next to her. This is my gown. I mean, what else would it be, right? But I have the whole thing. The absolute longest train ever. There's nothing about this that says, oh, this is a traditional destination wedding on a beach gown. But guess what I did? I wore it. I love it. I wore it the whole time. And I don't care. And I didn't care. And I'm still happy with that. And I just really want you guys to just, if it feels good to you, then it's right. Then it's right. And thou shalt not ask for permission to have your destination wedding. It's in the same vein, but you just don't need permission. So that means if you're having an issue and you're going, I want to plan a destination wedding, but my auntie ain't coming, or my mama ain't coming, or they may not be able to afford it, then yes, you should care about your guests, but just know that you don't need to ask permission. Like, for anything. And if you need permission, I'll give it to you right now. You have permission. You don't need it. Don't ask for permission. And that includes adult only or whatever. However you choose to do it, you can make it the most comfortable for your guests as possible. But just understand that it is what it is, and it's yours, and it's selfish. And so the fuck what? Nobody gets to tell you what you're gonna eat for dinner, or how your birthday party, if you're having a birthday party, or you're going to all these people's, birthday parties for their kids or graduation parties. You don't have a say-so in where the venue is. You're just sitting there, you're being a part of it, and they can do the same thing. So no permission necessary, but if for any reason you feel like you need to be validated, I am here for that. So reach out, and so are we. We're all here. And embrace your destination. Thou shalt embrace your destination. If you're getting married, wherever you're getting married, bring something into that. So Mexico, like, we didn't have a very specific color. We kind of went for the colors are Mexico, which means it was multicolored. It was very green. It was you know, we had the papel picado, which are the little flags that are kind of blow in the wind, and you figure out where you're staying and what's normal for that. Like if you're going to be maybe in the other part of the Caribbean, then, you know, maybe rum or a very specific type of rum, and that becomes your gift to people. Or the language. Some people, I love the idea of like learning how to speak that language and figure out, you know, some taglines, or just really, really embracing it, going local. I think that it's important to do that too. There are some things that you will need to bring with you depending on your situation, but really, really try to just embrace what you're doing. And I always say, have the time of your life, planning the best days of your life. And I mean that, you guys. So of course, it's kind of funny, and you know, have the time of your life, planning the best days of your life. Is your destination wedding going to be the best days of your life forever? I'm sure you'll have more. If you have a kid, it could be even better, or your kid's graduation or whatever. You'll have great days, but for right now, what you're planning right now are the best days of your current life. So have the time of your life. Really think about how you want to feel. Why are you doing this? If you were doing this just for photos for the gram, then you may as well just tap out right now, because that's not enough to keep you going through. For some cute photos or to get a whole bunch of likes or maybe get featured somewhere, that's not enough of a reason to decide to have a destination wedding. I gotta tell you, because it's way, way, way too much work for you just to be trying to be cute. You can be cute anywhere and save some money and just know how you want to feel and have a great time. And then my final tip that I'm going to give is to share. Like, share your experiences, you guys. So many people are nervous, and I really have a rule. If you're going to be on the show, you must talk about your budget. You just have to. Like, it seems strict, but it's just important. And I know that you guys appreciate it. You have to share. You don't have to share, but I encourage you to share. I feel like if I wouldn't have shared what my situation was, or none of the bride friends that's been on the show would have shared, then you wouldn't understand that you can do this or get these tips. It's all about helping and paying it forward. And you're spreading the love by sharing your experience. You're giving someone else the opportunity to get that from you, but then you're also giving yourself the opportunity to pour some love into somebody else, and that feels good. Like, it feels good to know that I'm helping you guys. It feels good to know that what I've done so far and what I'm doing is appreciated, and getting the reviews and getting everything. Like, it's nice, but at the same time, I love that it's also getting you guys, now you want to be on the show, and it's just important to kind of just keep it going and share your experiences so that the next Desti bride can do the same shit. So that's my 10. Very mindset related. I felt like it was really important to start that way, because that's like the basics. If you ever need to go back to this, please do. I'm here for that. I love you guys. I am going to answer a few live because I keep typing live Q&A. I'm going to answer a couple questions that you guys have. I'm going to look and see. But let me know if you have any questions. Excuse me. I got the best, right? I got that. All right. So there are a few bride friends who weren't able to make it, and I am going to answer a few questions for them, and I'm sure you guys will get those. So these are way more specific to destination wedding planning, so I'm sure you'll appreciate this. And thank you for staying. So so you guys actually have the option of going anonymous. So this is anonymous, but question: how did you do the legal documentation at home? Did you go to Justice of the Peace? Who did you invite? Did you put that exact date down as the wedding date / anniversary date, or the day you had your ceremony? So, how did I do the legal documentation? So, just so that you know, we did not get married legally in Mexico. Felt like it was way too many hoops personally to go through for us. There's a blood test involved. You have to be there for a few days ahead of time, and you also have to have a witness that's there as well. And in addition to everything that we did not we chose not to. So the week before, we actually got married at the Justice of the Peace. So to answer the question, how did I do it? Reached out, found out what it took to legally get married here. I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's cold and it's snowing, but found out what it took, which was really just going. Che actually came. We met on like his lunch break, I think. Yeah, it was like a lunch break. We made a whole little time of it where we went to them, and you have to go first to the little, what is it called? We'll call it Justice of the Peace, but it's like the admin office before, actually, and you have to apply. So you require your IDs. You have to, actually, I filled it out, filled the thing online, and then made an appointment. You go in and you swear that you are who you are and all that kind of stuff, and then made an appointment to actually, like, you get. And there's a full episode about this on the Hitch Switch one. It talks about name change, but applied. How did we do this? Yeah. We applied for the application. That's hence the applied for the application. And then we actually found a good judge. I actually called around and asked and got some really good advice and got a really great judge. So we just made another day of that. And I think before work, it wasn't a whole day. Before work, we went and we got married, and there's a little video. I'll share that. I'll find that and share that. But we have a little video of us doing our "Do you?" "Yes, I do." And we got married, and it was great. Now, that great part of that is so that was on May 18th. And so that's a day that we will always celebrate, right? That's just the paperwork part, though. Once we got our wedding date is May 27th. When I put her on, and it was the whole shebang, and we had the pictures and the people and all of that, and we really stood up there and did our vows. That was the actual ceremony for solidifying. And no matter where you get married, if we would have got married in Pittsburgh, we would have had to do the paperwork part, and then we would have went on. So we did get a little bit of a ceremony piece there. So I hope that answered that question. Who did we invite? Nobody. We told nobody about that. And it was so special. Like, I didn't realize I would get so butterfly-y about it. You could invite people, but we just did that with ourselves. Did I put the exact date down as the wedding date or the day that I had the ceremony? So for changing my name, the actual date, because you need to provide a copy of the certified marriage license, and that is May 18th everywhere else. But again, every May 18th, we end up having a drink or going, doing something great. And then on May 27th, we do it big also. So you just have 2 weeks of celebration. Next question. How did any Desti brides do parties or receptions at home? Was it worth it? How did it turn out? Did it turn out to be like 2 weddings? What was the party before or after the ceremony? So Sherry Ann's episode does talk about that. She did a full-on ceremony afterwards where they kind of laid out their wedding gown and then the tux and had a slideshow, and they just made it a whole other celebration for the guests that couldn't be there. I feel like I know that. I'm trying to think on who else. Anyone that I've yeah. So I've heard mixed reviews. It really is a second wedding. You can do it lighter. You can do just like a barbecue situation. Just, it depends on what your budget works and how it is. And I have also heard about like family members who are kind of salty afterwards. So they come, but they're mad that they couldn't come. And then they're kind of giving you attitude the whole time. So I have heard that too. You just got to know the family and know how it's going to be and know have a good feel for it. If for the future we will, I'll dig a little deeper into that one because those are the only couple of things that I could think of. How to manage and prevent people. All right. How to manage and prevent people booking last minute, adding unexpected costs to the budget, or should we set aside money in case this happens? So this is like a really, I can say what I want to say. My vote is, this is a great time for boundaries. You're letting people know, and that's where the website comes in. That's where the structure really comes, and it's not a flexible date, right? So you let them know this is when your final payment is due. And if you can't make that payment, then you're not coming, or, providing a date is super duper important. So what we did was we got a room block at Secrets. We paid in advance. I feel like it might have ended up being like $50 for each room or something like that as a deposit. And that deposit was people's RSVP. People said, yeah, I'm coming, and they didn't put a deposit down, then they're not coming. And you needed to have that, because you could only hold the block for a certain amount of time. If we would have kept that block longer or kept rooms longer, then we had to pay for those rooms, and we were not doing that. So we gave a bit of padding, maybe like we told them it was 2 weeks, it was due 2 weeks before. But if they ended up, a little there, so that put a little bit of padding there. But it's not your responsibility to make sure that people who are on some bullshit are on some bullshit. Like, just super duper boundary time. Hey, this is the due date, and you need to do that. Now, if they're communicating with you and you know that, you may have to end up paying for that person, and that's like a family member or whoever, it doesn't matter who it is, whatever's important to you, then you could set aside money if you just already know that you'll be like totally crushed if like your mom won't come or something like that. But you don't want to get out of control with it, because people will push and push and push. And one other thing that this reminds me of is, one tip that I would give is, when you have RSVPs, a destination wedding, like, everybody's not really down for that, right? Or it's a stretch, or it's this whole thing. If someone's not taking it seriously, not taking your dates seriously, because you're going to say, I need this by April 24th, which is my birthday, but I need this by April 24th. This is the date. And then you tell them, hey, final payment's due a month, like on March 24th, you're reminding them. You hear nothing. And then 2 weeks before, you're reminding them. You hear nothing. That person doesn't want to come. Just understand that. Just get it. They can't. Maybe they want to, but they can't. They're not communicating it. Whatever it is, if you push someone to put that RSVP down, or to pay, or to do, like, to kind of start making those steps, you're kind of forcing someone who doesn't want to go. It can kind of seem, you think it's like a reminder almost, but it's possible, depending on the person, that it's pressure that you're adding on them. You're pressuring them to come, and they're feeling like, oh, now I have to. And it may end up being someone, for me specifically, there were 2 people at our wedding that we got messages from Sarah, our travel agent, and she told us, these 2 people we haven't heard from. It's due. It was due yesterday or whatever, and they haven't done it. So we reached out. Hey, you got to do it. You got to do it. And they did it, and they acted a plumb fool. There was only 2 people that were so out of control for our wedding, and wishing they weren't there is an understatement. But I really feel like it was a pressure situation. They already were kind of showing you who they were and how they were working and what they were doing, and you just are going, hey. So it's not your responsibility to deal with people booking last minute. You just tell them not to, and they should not. And if they do something like that, and that includes adding guests, like, it gets out of control. Like, you get a +1, and you should give a +1, by the way. But you can't add guests, or you can't, hey, I'm bringing my kids. Your kids aren't invited. Unless you have invited the kids or whatever, but people push. And a destination wedding, or any wedding at that matter, is like a perfect time to start building that muscle with boundaries as well. So that's that. I'm sorry. Let's see. This may be off topic, but I will be bringing my own decor and linens. Does anyone know how Mexico handles this? I do! So we brought napkins. We brought created everything for the welcome boxes. So it was boxes that were flat, and everything inside of it. We ended up having to bring the tequila, which was the weirdest thing ever, but we had to do that. We took candles. We took candy. We took, I said napkins. Oh, also, we did little marble place settings for each person. They were personalized and they got to take them home. We had those. We traveled. It was a full suitcase and a half full of stuff. And pack it nicely. Always use a hard shell case. We'll talk about it way more next week with the packing. But Mexico doesn't really, it doesn't matter. They don't really care. They will, if something is questionable in there, you want to have the TSA locks on your luggage because they can go through it. And if they go through it, because that did end up happening, they went through it just to make sure, because like a solid candle looks like it could be a interesting substance or something like that, questionable substance. So they, what am I saying? So yeah, so they opened it up, they looked, and then they put a little note letting you know that they did go into your luggage, but nothing was wrong. The only thing I would say is when you're traveling, you want to make sure that you're packing this stuff really good. But again, we'll go through packing a carry-on and your suitcases next week, so be a part of that. Then you're not coming, period. Yeah, seriously, you're not coming. If you're not doing it, then you're not coming. And that's just the answer. They're being disrespectful to you. So they need to be able to handle that. Period. Y'all are funny. My wedding is in 2021 and I already have 3 of those. Oh, Lord. Yeah, they just not coming in. So I don't even know. I feel like that's just crazy. I will answer 2 more questions. I know you guys, I'm going over, so I do appreciate you being here. Sorry, real quick. Let's see. If you haven't already, I'm going through the if you're on Instagram, on the stories, there's a help me help you. And I've had tons of questions about that. So let me know what you guys want. And I'm adding that. Can you share the spreadsheet you used? Yes, I will. Absolutely. Technically in 2 weeks, but I'll try to see if I can kind of pull it together, at least give you guys a blank one before then. When we talk about the money bag, are flowers really important if you have a very strict budget? No, they're not. They're really not. You can do so many other things. You could do greenery. Jamila, I remember talking to her about it, and we ended up deciding, like, she did mirrors. Just, you can have fun with other types of decor because flowers are very, very expensive, especially depending on where you're going to be. So you can just play around with it, and flowers don't have to happen. You can definitely play around with different stuff. If you guys want me to dig more into decor, that's coming too, but yes. And then beauty. I saw like 83 million questions. I'm not going to answer all of them, but did you take your own lashes? So I talked about it a little bit. I get my lashes done individually. I don't know if you guys can you see that? So I get these and I do this like every 2 weeks or so. And Ivory did end up, I brought Ivory with me, was the answer. So Ivory did everything. And on the actual wedding day, she did add a little bit more volume because I wanted more va-va-voom. So if you see any close-up pictures on my wedding photos, those are the lashes that she did add. And they went right above. So I was able to still kind of, I always like wake up like this and I can swim and be in the water and all of that stuff after 24 hours. And I got these done. I've been wearing these for years. If you're curious about it or you're thinking about it, I will tell you they are high maintenance. It's something that you could consider doing just because it is a destination wedding. You don't want to be wearing strips throughout the whole time. And they are a cost. I feel like it depends on where you are. But I think maybe like my original set was like $250 the first time I had them done. And then every 2 weeks I pay like $60 to have them redone. And it's like a bit of self-care. I don't do a ton of things, but I lay down and she goes on each individual lash and adds one wherever they grow out, and it's awesome. It's magic. So I love that. That's the answer to that. And super fair skinned and burn easily. So I'm thinking of a spray tan a few days before. Yay or nay? I would say that, I'm sorry, y'all. That's gross. Yes. Yay. I think yay on that. Play around with it though. Start getting those now. I know specifically, Bliss, you are getting married in 4 months. So I would start getting them now and getting comfortable with your spray tanner. That way they know what you like. You can play around with it a little bit, play around, see how you feel in your gown, how you want the tone to be, how many days does it take, how does it develop in the sun, all of that kind of stuff you want to deal with and you want to understand. And I would start shopping and playing around with that now. If you're gonna spray tan before you put your gown on, I do know that you should wait. Usually it's a good 2 days. So don't go get a spray tan and then think you're going to go try on gowns or put your gown on. So don't do that. And yes, if I have held you guys for 10 minutes over, I have way more questions, but I do appreciate you guys. We'll keep going. I'll still be in the group. I have a little list. I have more bride friends who have been trying to get in, and I had to put that on hold for a little minute because I was preparing for this, but you guys will see more. Thank you so much. This is the very, very first Desti Hour, and I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that this is happening. If you have any tips for me on how to do better other than being on time, I am down. Just let me know. And yeah, one more little moment. Oh, Inez, what is your take on rehearsal dinner for all guests? I asked you how many guests. You got like 78 guests. That's a no-go. We personally did treat our guests to dinner the night before. We didn't do any type of excursions or anything, so I guess technically that was an excursion. But we also had a very small group. It was 28, 30, including us. So I would say that definitely. Why did I just have? Because I just saw this next question, which I love, by the way. But no. Rehearsal, if you're having a bridal party, then that's what that's for. If you're getting married, I'm not sure if you guys have like an all-inclusive resort or something like that. You can maybe like do drinks or something, or like a cocktail party for them, but that is way too many people to be paying for food, because you're having a wedding where you're going to be paying for everybody for everything. So I vote no on paying for that twice. You'll have welcome gifts for them, I'm sure, some form of a favor. Then they get to come and have a great time and be merry and drink. Hopefully you have an open bar. I do vote for that one. But as far as rehearsal dinner for everybody, that's no. Unless you got it. If you got it, then hey. But that money probably can go somewhere else. I think I like the idea of doing it with now, if you're not having a bridal party, then you probably could forego the whole thing, honestly. Because then you're kind of like cherry picking certain guests to have dinner with, and that might be a little weird. But yeah, that's that. And anyone vacuum suctioned your dress? I did. So I feel like I might have talked about it a bit, but I had a full-on 6-foot train, and I vacuum sealed this sucker. I did. If you guys want to see that, let me know. I did. It was super, super tight. Che had no idea what my gown looked like, and this whole thing went into it packed very, very nicely. So depending on how your gown is, we can talk about that, figure it out. That would be fun to do a little video about that. So yeah, let me know. It sounds like you do want me to. So if anybody else votes that up, I will push that up for sure. But yes, vacuum seal. It was what? Could you guys imagine us trying to drag this all over the place? That would have been a nightmare. If you vacuum seal, you do need a steamer, because that's what steamer means. No, I don't have it. LOL. So yeah, don't do it then. Nah, nobody's expecting it. I promise you, nobody's expecting to go on a rehearsal dinner with you. Some people might want to go to dinner with you because everybody wants your time, but everybody can't have that. Yeah, so if there's nothing else, you guys, I am going to wrap this up. I would love to thank you guys again. I love that we did this. Thank you. One more sip for us. Goes down. All right, so you guys have a great night. Have a great weekend. I will see you guys next Thursday. We are talking about packing. That includes this too. We're not going to suction it, but everything. We're packing. So submit those questions. If you can't make it, I will drop a link. Actually, in that event, there's a link for you to submit the questions. I appreciate you guys for participating in all of this, and I look forward to getting better and having more fun and loving you guys. So I will see you guys next week. And until next time, I am wishing you all the best week of your life and reminding you to have the time of your life, planning the best days of your life. Love y'all. Mwah.